Bonjour, French 1. Today's lesson is all about a new kind of regular verb. So far this year, we've talked about irregular verbs, such as avoir, the verb for to have, and être, the verb for to be. We talked about how whenever you learn an irregular verb, you just have to memorize its forms. So usually we had little songs like j'ai, ai, tu as, es, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, il est, elle, ont, for avoir, for the verb for to have. And we had je suis, tu es means I am, you are. Il est means he is, use elle for a girl. Nous sommes, we are, vous êtes is plural or formal, use ils sont for groups of men or mixed ils sont for groups of girls, for the forms of être, the verb for to be. And then we also talked about regular verbs, which are verbs that follow a pattern. So far, the only regular verb that you've learned are ER verbs. Those are verbs that end in the letters ER in that order. For ER verbs, to conjugate an ER verb, you had to drop the ER and add ER endings, which are those endings that go to that really cheesy tune of s, s, o-n-s, o-n-s, z, 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 o-n-t, o-n-t. What we're about to learn today is another set of regular verbs. So just like how those weird endings for ER verbs could apply to all verbs that end in the letter ER, whether it be danser or chanter or étudier, and you could say I dance, you dance, we dance, or I dance, we dance, or sorry, I sing, you sing, we sing, or I study, you study, we study. RE verbs follow a pattern, so they're known as regular verbs. RE verbs are any verb that ends in an RE. And I know you're not thinking of a lot right off the top of your head, but we're going to use several of them in this section. So make sure you jot down that that is indeed what an RE verb is. And just like with ER verbs, the reason why we have to change the ending on RE verbs is because we have to make the subject agree with the verb. As in, you don't want to say weird things like I sells a car. You say I sell a car and things like that. So first thing you always have to know whenever you're doing verbs is that those subject pronouns are, because if the pronoun has to match the ending of the verb, you kind of need to know what's going on with those pronouns. So je means I, tu means you, il means he, elle means she, nous means we, vous means y'all, or you formal as in you, Dr. Strong, or something like that. And ils and elles means they. So having said that, we need to talk about how you actually change the verb to make it match the subject. And they work a lot like ER verbs. It's a two-step process. The first step is to drop off the ending, the RE, which is the same thing we did with ER verbs. But now we have a new set of endings to go with RE verbs that are a little bit different than the endings that went with ER verbs. Those endings are S if you are dropping the RE and adding an S to make it match the je form. S again if you are doing the to form of an RE verb. This is left blank purposefully because you don't add anything to the il and l form. So if you're doing the il or l form of an RE verb, you just drop off the RE and you add nothing. If you'll notice though, the right hand side of this verb chart has the exact same endings as the ER endings. So the nous ending is ONS. For the vous form, you'll drop the RE and add EZ. And for the ils and ls form, you'll drop the RE and add ENT. So let's go ahead and show you a sample RE verb. Vendre, which is the verb for to sell. If you think about the word vend and vending machines and vendors, those are all things and people that sell things. Anyway, you can tell that's an RE verb because it ends in an RE. So in order to do the various forms of vendre and say things like I sell, or you sell, or he sells, or we sell, or y'all sell, or they sell, the first thing you have to do is drop off that RE. It leaves you with that VEND, which is what they know as the stem. And you have to add those endings you just wrote down. So for the je form, it's je vends. You don't actually hear the ending all the time, but you can take a look at it on your screen. Again, that means I sell. For the tu form, you drop the RE and you add that ending of just the letter S again for tu vends, or you sell. For the he and she form, you drop the RE and then remember there's no ending there. So he or she sells is il or elle vend. For we sell, you drop the RE and add an ONS. So nous vendons is we sell. For y'all sell, its RE ending is dropped and you have to add an EZ ending. So vous vendez is y'all sell. And then for they sell, you drop the RE and you add an ENT. So il or elle vend, for they sell. Now again, just like with ER verbs and learning that SO song, there's actually a song, very cheesy one of course, where you can memorize the endings to your RE verbs. It's to the tune of Three Blind Mice. I think you'll recognize it when I start singing it, or maybe not because I'm a pretty poor singer. But anyway, it's literally just the endings, but the reason why there's a sh here is because there's no ending for the EL form. So when you're singing it, you're actually singing your way through the ending. So it goes S, S, sh, S, S, sh, O, N, S, O, N, S. This is the fun part. O, Z, N, T, O, Z, N, T, les verbes R, les verbes R. Again, you'll notice that I do say the letters in French. If you'd like to say E-Z-E-N-T, you can, but I'm pronouncing them the French way. So hopefully that's obnoxious and gets stuck in your head. Don't worry, we'll be singing it a lot in class. So let's give you some other RE verbs that you can apply this rule to. We got a few of them up here that you'll kind of encounter in this section. And again, the way you know that they're RE verbs is because they end in the letters R-E. First one is entendre, which is to hear. Next one is perdre, which is to lose. Next one is rendre, which is to return. Now, if you rendre visite, then you visit somebody. So be careful. It doesn't necessarily translate word for word. Rendre visite à is to visit someone. And finally, to répondre à somebody is to respond to somebody, as in to answer somebody. So let's go ahead and show you a couple of examples here. I'm sorry, some of the actual word got covered up here. But if you wanted to use the nous form of entendre, there it is, by the way, you have to drop off the RE off of entendre, and you have to add that nous ending, which is nous, or which is ONS. So if you want to say we listen to music, nous entendons la musique. For the je form of perdre, to say I lose my book, you would drop the RE off of it, and it would leave you with this stem, and then that je ending, if you check your notes, is the letter S. Je perds mon livre, I lose my book. To say he sells his computer, you have to drop the RE off of vendre, which leaves you with this stem, and then if you check the endings list, remember there is no ending for the il and L form, so il vend son ordinateur. And finally, don't forget that the word Mark is actually just one boy's name. So when you go to do the Mark form of rendre, you're doing the same thing that we just did. You're dropping off the RE, and there is no ending for the he form for one boy. For somebody like Mark, to say that Mark rendre visite à sa tante, you'd be saying Mark visits his aunt. Make sure you bring this with you to class. We'll go and practice singing that song, and we'll practice memorizing those endings a lot.